The old house stood on the edge of the village, shrouded in silence and shadows. Its windows, like empty eyes, stared out at the world, whispering tales of forgotten times. Malve, eager for a fresh start, saw only potential in the crumbling facade. His wife, Deepika, felt a tremor of unease.
The air hung heavy with the weight of unseen eyes, the silence broken only by the rustle of leaves and the distant caw of a crow.
As days bled into weeks, Deepika found herself drawn to the house's darkened corners, her senses on high alert. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls, too low to decipher, yet heavy with unspoken words.
She brushed it off as her imagination, the anxieties of a new environment playing tricks on her mind.
Jay, oblivious to his wife's growing unease, reveled in the restoration project. One evening, as Jay chipped away at a crumbling wall, he uncovered a hidden alcove. Inside lay a small, ornate wooden box, its surface etched with intricate carvings. Deepika's fingers trembled as she picked it up, her heart pounding against her ribs. The locket felt strangely familiar in Deepika's hands, its coldness seeping into her skin.
The vision vanished as quickly as it had appeared, leaving Deepika shaken and disoriented.
Jay, concerned by his wife's sudden pallor, dismissed it as fatigue. He urged her to rest, attributing her visions to the stress of the move and the constant work on the house.
The scent of jasmine had intensified, clinging to her like a ghostly embrace, and the whispers seemed to have grown louder, weaving themselves into her thoughts.
Sleep offered no respite. Deepika's dreams were haunted by the woman with shadowed eyes, her pleas for help echoing in the darkness.
He would only worry, she reasoned, dismissing her experiences as mere nightmares.
As days turned into nights, the line between reality and dreams blurred. Deepika found herself drawn to the attic, an unspoken pull guiding her steps. In the dimly lit attic, amidst cobwebs and forgotten memories, stood a figure. She was ethereal, almost translucent, her form shimmering like heat haze.
Terror warred with curiosity within her as she took a hesitant step closer, her breath caught in her throat. "Who are you?"
I've been waiting for you, Deepika.
Fear gave way to a chilling certainty. This was the woman from her dreams, the source of the whispers, the scent of jasmine.
"Why me? What do you want from me?"
This house holds secrets, secrets that bind us together. I need your help, Deepika. Help me find peace.
Deepika could see the details of her face now, the fine lines etched by time and sorrow. She was beautiful, in a haunting, ethereal way, but it was her eyes that held Deepika captive. Deepika stood frozen, caught between the world she knew and the spectral apparition before her.
"What secrets?"
The figure, her form flickering like a candle flame, reached out a translucent hand. Deepika hesitated, then, as if drawn by an invisible force, extended her own. Their fingers touched, and a jolt of icy energy surged through her, stealing her breath.
Gasping, Deepika pulled away, her hand flying to her chest as if to still her pounding heart.
My name is Anya.
And with that, she dissolved into the shadows, leaving Deepika alone in the dusty silence of the attic. The scent of jasmine lingered, a bittersweet reminder of the encounter. Deepika stumbled out of the attic, her mind awhirl. She knew, with a chilling certainty, that Anya's story was now irrevocably entwined with her own. The house felt different now, alive with an unseen energy that both terrified and intrigued Deepika.
The scent of jasmine, once faint and fleeting, was a constant companion, a reminder of the pact I had unwittingly made.
As Deepika delved deeper into the house's past, she discovered that Anya had been a gifted pianist.
One evening, drawn by an invisible force, I found myself in the salon, my fingers hovering over the keys of the old, neglected piano.
A haunting melody filled the air, soft and melancholic, its notes seeming to flow from her fingertips, as if guided by an unseen hand.
I played on, lost in the melody, unaware of the tears streaming down my face.
As the last note faded, the silence that descended was heavy with unspoken truths.
I owe it to Anya, and perhaps even to myself, to find peace for the restless spirit that haunts this old house.
The village elders, their faces etched with time and shadowed by forgotten tragedies, were reluctant to speak of the past. Anya's story was one of heartbreak and vengeance, and her spirit would find no rest until justice was served. Driven by a sense of purpose, Deepika immersed herself in the task of piecing together Anya's story.
I spoke to the oldest residents of the village, their memories clouded by time, but their fear of Anya's fate still palpable.
Each piece of information, each whispered anecdote, painted a clearer picture of Anya's life and tragic end.
She had fallen in love with a man named Viraj, a charming stranger who had swept into her life and stolen her heart.
Viraj, it turned out, was not who he claimed to be. He was already betrothed, promised to another in a pact of wealth and power.
But Viraj, consumed by greed and ambition, had silenced Anya's protests permanently.
Anya's body had never been found. Her fate, a tragic mystery that haunted the village for generations. Deepika, her heart heavy with sympathy for the woman whose spirit now touched her own, vowed to uncover the truth.
I owe it to Anya and to the village that still to light.
One stormy night, as lightning flashed and thunder shook the old house to its core, Anya's spirit appeared before Deepika once more.
You seek the truth, but are you prepared to face it? The truth is a double-edged sword capable of both healing and destroying.
I'm not afraid. I want to help you find peace, Anya. Tell me what happened.
And so Anya, her voice a blend of sorrow and fury, recounted the tale of her betrayal and murder.
He buried me in the garden beneath the weeping willow. He thought he could bury his sin with me, but my spirit refused to rest.
Deepika listened, her heart aching for the injustice Anya had suffered. She understood now the depth of Anya's pain, the rage that fueled her restless spirit.
I won't let you down, Anya. I'll find a way to set you free.
Anya wasn't evil. She was simply a victim seeking justice, her spirit crying out for the truth to be revealed. Deepika knew she had to act. The weight of Anya's story settled upon Deepika's shoulders, a heavy burden of responsibility and dread. She knew what she had to do. She had to find Anya's remains, to give her a proper burial, to break the chains that tethered her to the house and to the memory of her murderer. As days turned into sleepless nights, Deepika pored over old maps and property records, searching for any clue that might lead her to Anya's final resting place. One evening, as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the garden, Deepika noticed something peculiar. Beneath the weeping willow, a patch of ground seemed to sag slightly, the grass growing there thinner and paler than the surrounding area. Her heart pounded in her chest as she approached, drawn by an invisible force. As she stood beneath the willow's drooping branches, a chill wind swept through the garden, rustling the leaves and sending a shiver down her spine. Anya's presence was almost tangible, her anguish palpable in the very air. Deepika knew, with a certainty that defied logic, that she had found the place. With a mix of trepidation and determination, Deepika began to dig. The earth, packed hard by time and neglect, yielded grudgingly to her efforts. As she dug deeper, a sense of unease settled over her, a feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Hours later, as the moon replaced the sun in the night sky, Deepika's shovel struck something solid. Her heart pounded in her chest as she brushed away the last of the earth, revealing a tarnished silver locket, identical to the one she had found in the attic. It was Anya's locket, buried with her, a silent testament to her tragic fate. With renewed purpose, Deepika continued to dig, her movements fueled by a combination of grief, anger, and a profound sense of responsibility. Finally, she unearthed a wooden box, its once polished surface now rotted and decayed. Inside lay the skeletal remains of Anya, her delicate bones arranged as if she had been laid to rest with care. Clutching the locket tightly in her hand, Deepika gently lifted Anya's remains, her heart heavy with sorrow and a strange sense of peace. The village gathered under a somber sky as Deepika laid Anya to rest in the local cemetery. The priest spoke words of comfort and peace, but it was Deepika's tears, her heartfelt grief for a woman she had never met, that truly honored Anya's memory. As the coffin was lowered into the ground, a sense of release settled over the crowd, a palpable lightness replacing the oppressive weight that had haunted the village. The old house, once a source of fear and dread, stood silent now, its windows reflecting the clear blue sky. The scent of jasmine was gone, replaced by the fresh scent of newly turned earth. Anya was gone, her spirit finally at peace, but her story, her tragic fate, would forever be etched in the history of the village, a reminder of the enduring power of love, betrayal, and the restless spirits that walk among us.